Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Organon Classroom with Dr. Gazala. Here we are starting off our lecture series 2 on an MUHS favorite, The Principles and Practice of Homeopathy by Richard Hughes. Now, this book becomes an important milestone because it changes the face of Organon. No more being theory, but being a practical standard format for us to practice. Talking about homeopathy in general first, and then coming up to Organon and its therapeutics, we are going to cover each lecture in detail in each of our episodes. All right, so beginning our lecture today, we have lecture 1, Homeopathy, its nature and origin, as given in the book by Hughes. Dogma is something, like a belief or a set of beliefs that people are expected to accept as true without even questioning. ठीक है, अभी हम लोग ने बात की कि रिचर्ड ह्यूजेस ने कैसे हर चीज का एक रैशनल एक्सप्लेनेशन डिमांड किया है. तो अगर जब हम ये नहीं करते हैं, जब हम कोई साइंटिफिक उसका बेसिस नहीं प्रूव करते या पूछते नहीं और जो उसको ऐसे ही एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हैं, उसे डॉगमा कहते हैं. ठीक है, तो जब हम रिचर्ड ह्यूजेस का काम पढ़ेंगे, वी आर गोइंग टू सी द थेराप्यूटिक मेथड, ओके, that homeopathy is, and not something that you're just accepting because someone told you ki homeopathy is good, so you got to try that off. All right, so based on the exclusive role of similia similibus curenter, Hughes talks about homeopathy as the practical method. ओके गाइस, सो द फिलोसॉफिकल बर्डन जो था ना, जहाँ पे जो एक्चुअली जिसको लेकर ही हम लोगों पे अटैक होता है इवन टिल डेट, ओके, दिस हैज बीन समथिंग व्हिच इज हैपनिंग फ्रॉम टाइम इमेमोरियल. जब से होम्योपैथी बॉर्न हुआ है तब से वी आर वल्नरेबल टू द मॉडर्न मेडिसिन क्रिटिसिज्म. ओके, तो उसका जो एक्सप्लेनेशन है, उसका जो वैलिडेशन है या उसका जो काउंटर एक्शन है, वो है या प्रैक्टिकल मेथड, a therapeutic instrument, okay, an art of medicine in harmony with science. It selects a singular aspect of disease and drug action to effect a cure. Okay, यहाँ पे ये जो चेंज है, यहाँ पे ये जो माइंडसेट का चेंज है, यहाँ पे जो हमारा एग्जिस्टेंस का चेंज है, इज व्हाट ह्यूजेस टॉक्स अबाउट. अब द प्रिकर्सर्स ऑफ सिमिलर्स, ओके, तो अपना जो यूनिवर्सल है, नेचर्स लॉ ऑफ क्योर है, और वो जिस रूल पे बेस्ड है, विच इज सिमिलिया सिमिलबिस क्यूरेंटर, वो कॉन्सेप्ट आने से पहले क्या कॉन्सेप्ट रह चुके हैं, वी आर गोइंग टू टेक अ quick review on that. Okay, starting off with Hippocrates, father of medicine, as we all know. He referred, वो action based था क्योंकि he referred to vomitus as the sign, as a crucial diagnostic sign actually. ओके, फॉर नोइंग कि कौन सा ह्यूमर और कौन सा फ्लूइड का इम्बैलेंस रहा है बॉडी में, एंड व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी द प्रोबेबल प्रोग्नोसिस ऑफ दैट केस एंड द प्रोबेबल डायग्नोसिस एज वेल. ओके, तो एज वी ऑल नो, ही हैड डेवलप्ड द ह्यूमरल थियोरी. उनके 4 ह्यूमर्स रहते हैं, रह चुके हैं, ब्लड, फिल्म, येलो बाइल, ब्लैक बाइल. ठीक है, तो वो कंसेप्ट के बेसिस पे वोमिटिस का जो कंटेंट होता था उसको एग्जामिन करते हुए उसके साथ में कोई और कोमॉर्बिडिटी मौजूद है, लाइक कन्वर्जन है, हिकअप्स है, या समथिंग एल्स व्हिच फॉर्म्स अ बैड साइन अपेरेंटली. ओके, सो ये सब चीजों को मिला के ही formed up the action based concept. Then the second comes the signatures, that is a form based concept, which is what resemblance in the form or color between plants and the body parts. ये थोड़ा बहुत अपना doctrine of signature जैसा हो जाता है, which even we follow in our materia medica. Okay, next comes isopathy, which is material based, use of animal organs for human disorders of the same organ, applying theoretical qualities like dryness, coldness, etc. Okay, and then comes homeopathy, which is effect based, let likes be treated by likes. Now Hahnemann's breakthrough was here, where he matched the clinical features of disease to the effects of drugs on a healthy body, and as we all know, that came across because of his excellent breakthrough with the Syncona experiment, right? When he was translating Cullen's Materia Medica, okay, in 1719, he came across something which became a conflict for him and a catalyst as well for empirical testing, that Hahnemann was unsatisfied. He was dissatisfied with Cullen's explanation of the febrifuge, the fever producing properties of cinchona bark, and sought the true mechanism of action. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे हैनेमैन ने प्रूव किया वो रेमेडी अपने आप पर, एंड द फ्यू ऑफ हिज डिसाइपल्स एंड हिज फॉलोअर्स, राइट, हिज स्टूडेंट्स. तो द एम्पिरिकल डिस्कवरी लूप कहाँ से हुआ? इंजेक्शन. ही took 4 quenching of cinchona twice a day. Artificial symptoms develop of cold extremities, fatigue, rapid pulse, trembling, head beating, redness of cheeks, thirst, right? And it matched up the natural exactly, the natural symptoms exactly, and the law was confirmed. The natural disease match to the sequential presentation of the ache, that is the malarial symptoms. And then there was cessation. All symptoms completely disappeared upon stopping the dose. And hence there was the first proving that we got for our materia, and also which forms the basis of organon, right? और फिर वहां से जो शुरू हुआ, like from 1805, 1806, 1810, 1811, ठीक है, ये सारे रहे हमारे systematic progression from observation to codification. Codification मतलब it all came down on paper, right? तो 1805 से जो start हुआ था fragmenta diveribus medicamentorium, याद है आप लोगों को? And what was that? It was just a raw data collection. Okay, pathogenesis of 27 tested medicine matlab the proved medicine, right? 1806, the medicine of experience. Okay, breakthrough Hugh Fland journals essay establishing initial practicing rule. Then came in 1810 Organon of rational medicine, guys, the complete philosophical and practical treatise. Okay, this became the turning point for us. This became our homeopathic Bible for us, right? Then followed up 1811 में Rene Arzenementeler expanded scale pathogenesis of another 58 medicines, 58 proved medicine. ठीक है, तो ये timeline हम ध्यान में रखेंगे, and we are going to write it off as it is. Organon of rational medicine. So you just talks over here how this has been an instrument for effecting a certain end, which is the cure of disease. Okay, so here the organon map as he has given is the philosophy, the rules, and the complexities. Philosophy is going to be the full discussion of theories and demonstration of scientific soundness. The rules are going to be the guidelines for patient examination, drug proving, and remedy selection. And the complexities are going to be handling imperfect similarities, insufficient symptoms, local diseases, and mental disorders. ठीक है, तो when we study our organon, when we study our sixth edition, यही है ground plan of organon, basic, the basic structure which has not changed, which shows कि उसका relevance आज भी है, because it is universal in nature. उसका relevance आज भी है, and you can always use that up to validate your points when you are explaining about this subject. Okay, when you're talking or understanding this subject. See again, ये organon of medicine है, ठीक है, what we study, we don't study organon of homeopathy, right? तो ये जो book है ना, which Hahnemann had written, it is for the medical fraternity, guys. This is not only for the ones who are studying homeopathy. Hahnemann himself was a part of modern medicine earlier, before he got he studied and he invented, he discovered homeopathy and all of it together, right? So he is addressing this book, okay, as a manual for physicians, physicians of medicine, जिनका एक ही intention, एक ही मकसद, एक ही mission है, which is to cure the sick, as it is termed aphorism number 1. All right, always remember, medicine is not going to change, the therapeutics will, but the concept of disease, okay, the concept of the sick person, all right, and the intention for curing that person is going to be the same, irrespective of any of the routes or any of the pathies that you follow. All right, तो ये जो हमारा ग्राउंड प्लान है, दिस रिमेन्स द सेम. जैसे आप देखोगे ये सारे कंसेप्ट्स हैं ना अपने, व्हेन टू डिसिमिलर डिजीजेस मीट, व्हेन सिमिलर डिजीजेस मीट, ड्रग प्रूविंग का सेक्शन, रेमेडी सिलेक्शन, पोसोलॉजी वगैरह जब हम बात करते हैं ना, रेफोरिज्म्स, ठीक है, लोकल डिजीजेस, लोकल एप्लीकेशंस, मेंटल हेल्थ, मेंटल डिसऑर्डर्स टू 10 to 30 एंड ऑल ऑफ इट. तो ये बनता है अपना ग्राउंड प्लान ऑफ ऑर्गेनॉन. ओके, नाउ what Hughes considers as the inviolable rules of application, मतलब फेल ही नहीं होने वाले. These are the foolproof rules, okay, which is similia. Pillar 1, pillar 2 is single, pillar 3 is small. ठीक है, जो अपने कार्डिनल प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ होम्योपैथी है उसमें भी ये आता है, which becomes the similar remedy matching drug effects to disease features, single remedy, simple treatment, never compound, no repetition until the first dose ceases. Third is the small dose, the small one, the reduced dose, infinitesimal quantities to prevent any aggravation. ठीक है, तो single simple remedy जो हम बोलते हैं ना, that becomes the basis of our application of organon and a knowledge for treating diseases. Okay, तो similia mechanism क्या रहने वाला है? Natural disease, the clinical features and symptoms felt by the patient and observed by the physician. Artificial disease are going to be the exact effects produced by the drugs tested on a healthy human being. वो जब होगा, and when we match up the simillimum, the remedy must match the precise symptom, so we get the cure, which is likes treated by likes. ठीक है, अब इसके दो citation and 1 and 2 we are going to come out later, which forms the rule of simplicity. The remedy must be single and simple. Hahnemann prescribed no more than one remedy at a time and strictly forbid repeating a dose until the action of the first had completely ceased. आज के टाइम में हम पॉलीफार्मेसी बहुत ज्यादा करते हैं. Even we end up then giving up local applications also to our patients कि कोई चीज सपोर्ट करने के लिए, which can be medicated and may act as an obstacle to cure actually. तो इसको नहीं करना है is what Hughes has been telling us. Like venesection alone or a purgative alone, never a compound mixture. ठीक है, अब isolate the variable ensures predictable outcome. Okay, 18th century medicine, all right, 18th century medicine was this what you can see on this slide. ठीक है, all mixed up together, empirically given, ये इस पे इफेक्ट कर रहा है, ये इस पे इफेक्ट कर रहा है, वो उस पे इफेक्ट कर रहा है, बट उन सबका साथ में इफेक्ट क्या हो रहा है is what you can't study it off. All right, next is what Hahnemann's rule of simplicity is. ठीक है, treating as the person as a whole and not just the disease in that person. Okay, the dose must create an artificial disease inferior in intensity to the natural disease, ensuring internal changes occur with sufficient force but without aggravating the patient. Right, हमको सिर्फ vital force को जो है stimulate करना है, and then काम तो vital force ही करने वाला है. ठीक है, like even Hippocrates has told the nature is going to heal itself, we only have to assist it. तो वो जो assistance है ना, that comes along only when you give us the smallest dose, और smallest dose में ही सबसे ज्यादा curative action होता है of drugs. Right, so the collision with modernity, as physiology and pathology drastically advanced, homeopathy's vulnerable philosophical points were exposed to critics from modern medicine. ठीक है, the target was Hahnemann's speculative theories of disease causation, example the concept of miasm. Hahnemann's pathology did not survive the scientific revolution. ठीक है, ये इसके basis पे when we talk only about miasm, when we only talk about dynamic nature of diseases, and when you do not really show it on paper, the changes that have been made, the reports that have been studied, or something that has been well documented, okay, there comes across something where we do not tend to survive, okay, the scientific revolution part. Now the theory of disease. Okay, so theory of disease explains why disease occurs, right? And in homeopathy this includes concepts like miasm and dynamism. As we all know, dynamism is nothing but the vital force that we are talking about. Okay, तो ये जो ideas है, they were based during Hahnemann's understanding, during Hahnemann's time. सही है, अब जैसे जैसे फिजियोलॉजी एंड पैथोलॉजी बदलता गया विद चेंजिंग टाइम्स, जैसे प्रोग्रेशन होता गया इन मॉडर्न मेडिसिन, these concepts did not change, तो वो कभी अलाइन नहीं हो पाए with the modern medicine shift. Okay, तो उसके basis पे they were always outlined and told that they are not relevant even in today's times. ये relevant होगा तब, but अब तो बिल्कुल नहीं है. This is what is been told by the author in this part. Along with that, when Dr. Jeddah Scott's, he defends this as theory of cure. Theory of cure क्या होता है? It's a therapia. A therapia means the science or method of treatment. Okay, so what does Dr. Scott say? He says that homeopathy's method of cure is independent of its disease theories. It is based on only one law, which is similia similibus curenter. Let likes be cured by likes. Okay, तो ये थेराप्यूटिक प्रिंसिपल कहाँ से डिराइव हो रहा है? फ्रॉम ड्रग प्रूविंग्स एंड क्लिनिकल एक्सपीरियंस एंड नॉट फ्रॉम एनी काइंड ऑफ पैथोलॉजी और फिजियोलॉजी. ठीक है, सो देयरफॉर even if our understanding of disease changes, the law of similars remains unaffected. तो डॉक्टर स्कॉट बोल रहे हैं कि irrespective of you guys practicing miasmatically or without considering the miasm, eventually you are going to end up matching your totality of the symptoms, okay, the disease symptoms to the proved symptoms of a certain drug. ओके, तो वहां पे जो हमको सिमिलम मिलेगा उसके बेसिस पे ही हम उस बंदे को, उस पेशेंट को ट्रीट करने वाले हैं. ठीक है, सो द थियोरी ऑफ क्योर बिकम्स मोर रेलेवेंट देन द थियोरी ऑफ डिजीज. Here on this slide, you are going to see the Hahnemannian dogma, means the Hahnemannian set of rules, set of beliefs that were given by Hahnemann as against to Hughes' homeopathy. Hughes' concept of homeopathy, which has been nothing but the modern synthesis of homeopathy, or right, the scientific explanation of it. So, what Hahnemannian law states that follows Hahnemann in all departments of thought. Okay, क्रॉनिक डिजीजेस हो जाए, मेडिसिन ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस हो जाए, जो जो सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैनेमन ने दिए हैं, इंक्लूडिंग द माइजम्स एंड ऑल ऑफ इट, द वाइटल प्रिंसिपल एंड ऑल, वो सारा सब कुछ हैनेमेनियन वे में ही फॉलो करना है. Second, it relies on Hahnemann's 18th century pathology, means the miasm is what forms up disease in the person, and views the organon as an infallible philosophy of human disease. Okay, next, Hughes is talking against these principles by saying that he accepts Hahnemann strictly as the author of the therapeutic method, nothing else. He relies on the modern science of Fletcher for physiology, Tesser for pathology. ठीक है, he views organon as a practical instrument of therapeutics. For Hughes, organon is no theory, organon is a practical set of books. Okay, and over here even I actually support Hughes in this part, because that's how organon actually is presented to us, guys. We do not question that back. Okay, अपने को Hahnemannian principles के हिसाब से, because Hahnemann has written it, because it's sixth edition, because that's what we are going to follow, we are taking that up as only a theory part of it. We are not practicing that enough in our clinics, guys. अपने को he Hahnemann has taken a lot of efforts to write that off, to write his experience in that book. Okay, और जिसने एक अलग सिस्टम ऑफ मेडिसिन ही बना दिया है, तो उसने कुछ तो सिस्टमैटिक, कुछ कुछ तो सब्सटैंशियल ही लिखा होगा, राइट? वो चीज को फॉलो करना, वो चीज को क्वेश्चन करना एंड देन उसके रिजल्ट्स कंफर्म करके फॉलो करना is what Hughes is talking about over here, and what we actually also need to support that of, because only then organon becomes a practical subject and as our instrument for therapeutics. Law of cure जो हम लोग फॉलो करते हैं ना, वो है अपना थेराप्यूटिक्स. क्योर किस सिस्टम से, किस स्टेप से होने वाला है. ठीक है, so here Hughes in his modern synthesis, he retains the brilliance of the clinical rules while adapting to the scientific reality. Okay, all study, exposition and practice of it must start from him, and the results it achieves must be accounted a monument read to his honor. We are homeopathists, not Hahnemannians. Okay, these are the words of Richard Hughes. All right, also guys, it will be very interesting for us to go a little back in history of medicine and history of homeopathy itself, and see that when Hahnemann was small, okay, and he learned from his father, right, and he applied that later on in his life, that do not accept anything in science blindly or without questioning. Okay, accept everything rationally. So this is something not which is coming out of the box or somewhere else. ठीक है, बस सिर्फ थियोरी को प्रैक्टिकल में क्या कन्वर्ट करना है is what Hughes is exclusively talking about in this book and in this lecture, right? This is our exclusive handout made for you guys for this lecture, which covers everything at a glance. Okay, everything that we have studied in this chapter, from the definition of let similia similibus curenta, which is let likes be treated by likes, okay, to the single simple remedy, वो तीन pillars क्या रहे हैं, and how the theory has to be converted into experiment and then in clinical practice, which has been philosophy, a rigid philosophy for Hughes. Okay, how organon is instrumental in containing the rules for patient examination, drug proving, और उसके सारे जो concepts रहे हैं वो हमको therapeutic way में कैसे काम आ सकते हैं, along with the Syncona experiment, along with the historical publications and the quote homeopathists and not Hahnemannians. ठीक है, तो जहाँ पे भी ये quotes आ जाते हैं ना, it becomes important that you quote that off in your paper as well. Okay, it always gives you a position one up than others. All right, ये आपको मिल जाएगा on Instagram handle at the Organon Classroom. And with this, we complete our first lecture of our second lecture series on Hughes. Okay, coming up next would be lecture 2, which is the Organon. Okay, we'll try cover up the Organon, and lecture 3, the Organon, concluded from the Hughes book in one part only. Along with that, please like, share, and subscribe if you can relate to this channel, and follow us on Instagram at the Organon Classroom for latest announcements and handouts. All right. So happy learning, guys. Have fun and study well. Thank you so much.